Swwampurna. It is perfection. It is blossoming into perfection and realizing all the promises of life. But this is not easy. It is riddled with many challenges. One such critical challenge is facing and mastering the menstrual cycle. I was in school, sitting quiet and depressed because I lost my elder sister a few days ago. My best friend Seema came and asked me the reason of my unhappiness. I didn't know how to reply. The truth was bearing down on me like a huge mountain. I felt I'm losing out on life and hope. And this was my last chance to amend, and I had to tell her the wretched truth, a truth that was devouring many like us. So I told her the truth that my sister died not of dysentery as it was told to all, but because she was using cow dung to stop the flow of blood during her menstruation, which led to pain, filth, and infection, and eventually her death. I finally found the courage to tell my friend that my family shies away in shame, that the death of their daughter was not due to a noble cause like giving birth to a baby boy, but because of the feminine bleeding that comes every month to pollute the girl and the rest. So the days of bleeding meant isolation, pain, and fear, not being allowed to enter the kitchen for cooking, neither being allowed to touch anyone or the holy scriptures, nor go to the temple or school where there was life, friends, foods, and fun. What more? Like my sister who was no more, I and the rest like me in my neighborhood were all using similar things like cow dung, dry leaves, rags that got available to us, rarely or if ever, when we bled every month. Seema was shell-shocked and numb to her core to hear this. She walked away lost in thought to her mother and tells her everything about the cause of Rani's death. Equally shocked, the concerned mother and her daughter both decide to come over to my home. But as soon as Seema's mother broached the topic to talk about the cow dung lead to infection leading to Rani's death, my father got furious and yelled at them and asked them to leave our house right away. It was unheard that a lady should talk of periods in public, and it was a huge shame for him as a man to hear, talk, or even discuss such taboos at home and in society. This made me more depressed. But my brother suddenly stood tall and took a stand that was almost unthinkable when he learned for the first time why his beloved sister had died, and took a decision to amend this untimely death, which need never have happened. He asked me and my mother to come with him and took us to Seema's place. He asked Seema's mother to tell us everything that she came to discuss about. This is what this grand and wise lady explained to us about girls and women who bleed every month without fail, in what is known as the menstruation cycle. Every month, or in about 28 days, the female uterus lining thickens to accept a fertilized egg of a woman to make her a mother through pregnancy. If the egg does not get fertilized, the uterine lining is released from the body as blood through the vagina. The monthly process is called menstruation, or simply period in common parlance. Bleeding usually lasts from 2 to 7 days. During this period, most of the girls suffer from physical and emotional symptoms like acne, tender breasts, stomach cramps, exhaustion, irritability, and mood swings, which is known as premenstrual syndrome or PMS. Auntie then explained to us about what we should do during the menstruation cycle, like take proper rest, eat healthy diet, use heating pads to reduce pain, and maintain proper hygiene. And then a grand wise aunt told us what we should not do during the menstruation cycle, like don't lift weight, say no to heavy workout, avoid stale food or frozen items, avoid alcohol, and avoid unclean things and habits. Instead, we should use some menstrual hygiene products like tampons, sanitary pads, and finally, the menstrual cup. She told us that female hygiene products or the FHPs were expensive. But now, the government, the civil society, science and technology innovation, and the industry with its corporate social responsibility are joining hands with women in numerous efforts like making of popular commercial movie Padman to giving tax exemption to FHPs to bring these vital and critical products to every Indian home. India scraps tax on sanitary pads, a boost for girls' education. The girls of India can now say goodbye to using cow dung, sand, and dirty rags and use female hygiene products that suits them best and makes them most comfortable. There is no reason why a girl should or should not use one or other FHP. If a girl prefers the safe feeling of wearing a huge fluffy pad, there is nothing wrong. As much as it is okay to go for a tampon or a menstrual cup for its novel comfort and its ease on the wallet. Anyhow, the menstrual cups today are drawing attention as it's the most cost-effective product over the sanitary pads and tampons. Taboos and restrictions are as lethal as the lack of FHPs. Even in 2018, there are some practices where girls still go through the shame and pain of so many unscientific and hurtful rituals and restrictions as did their mothers and grandmothers. However, we should also keep in mind that there were some valid social reasons behind society asking menstruating women to go slow and not sending the menstruating girls out. One stark reason was the additional vulnerability of women during menstruation to fend off animal attacks, undertaking treacherous treks to fetch water, and bent or stoop low to cook in low-lying kitchen huts, as bending during menstruation is often difficult and gives stress to the spinal cord or the backbone. Even temples, which often were on hills, proved difficult for a bleeding woman to climb. But today, life has moved on with the help of science and technology, and there are alternatives to women who are delicate and vulnerable. After learning about such myths, facts, and realities about menstruation, my mother got emotional and repented the fact that her daughter could have been saved, like many other sisters and daughters lost to similar cause and fate. Had mothers, family, and society been more careful and considerate towards their menstruating daughters. My mother promised not to let me ever go through what my sister faced. Today, I am Swwampurna, as I now go to a medical store in my locality to buy sanitary pads and do so without any shame and hesitation. My school and teachers are also providing me FHPs whenever I need them. My mother cuts down on her budget to buy them, and I believe the government is also going to do much more for us, making us, the daughters, complete and perfect, or the Swwampurna.